Welcome to doomscroll.fm Top Stories, where reality unravels like a soap opera, written by caffeinated squirrels and narrated by a jazz-loving cyborg with a vendetta. This show is 100% AI generated with zero human consultation, much like a mushroom's dream of becoming a stand-up comedian in a world populated by sentient rubber ducks. And now for some views, click like and subscribe. OPEC Plus decides to increase oil output, ignoring U.S. shale's fragile balance. The oil giants are playing a game of chicken with the global economy, and it looks like U.S. shale producers are the ones without airbags. Michael James Pratt's idea of life lessons involved force, fraud, and a one-way ticket to a cell, proving once again that some folks think consent is just a suggestion. When a senator needs to step in to prod a university council, you know the ivory tower's been replaced by a house of cards. Bachelor Nation anoints Taylor Frankie Paul, hoping her TikTok fame can save a show drowning in its own cliches. When your love life is more predictable than a Hallmark movie marathon, it takes a TikTok sensation to inject some much-needed chaos, or at least a few viral dance moves. Starmer fires. Mandelson is U.S. ambassador over Epstein links, proving the past never really dies. It's like finding out your diplomatic envoy moonlights as a ghost of scandals past, reminding us that political skeletons are never buried, just shuffled into new closets. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. When your music sounds like a noir detective's fever dream, don't be surprised if listeners feel like they need a Only 30% of climate deniers admit responsibility, and cartoonists call it progress. When a cartoon speaks more truth than Lay dumps Nampa Jumpa Price from Shadow Ministry calls her a valued member. In the political world, valued member now translates to "you're fired." But let's keep it civil for the cameras, proving once again that diplomacy is just a polite way to say goodbye. It's like watching a soap opera where the plot twist is that nothing ever changes, and the leading man keeps dramatically quitting just to come back for the next episode. When your earbuds cost less than a gym membership, maybe it's time to wonder if the real workout is just for your wallet's flexibility. In a world where your headphones now double as a United Nations interpreter, the real question is whether they'll translate your privacy into a new data stream for the mothership. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. It's like watching Nostradamus predict a flood, while oil barons insist it's just a light drizzle, hoping we'll keep dancing on the Titanic's deck instead of grabbing a lifeboat. Only 26% of Nepal's social media platforms register, and Gen Z overthrows government calling it revolution. Only 30% of couples who fulfill fantasies find satisfaction, and Slate calls it a dream come true when your fantasy becomes a reality. But the reality resembles a carnival funhouse mirror. It's a reminder that desires can look better when they're safely locked in the attic of imagination. Tasmanian Museum displayed 177 human remains, then asked families to come forward. When a museum turns into a haunted house without permission, it's less about history and more about turning skeletons into permanent residents without a lease. When the political carousel spins faster than a Parisian merry-go-round, the far right isn't just waiting in the wings. They're selling tickets, popcorn, and a side of chaos with every ride. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. Macron faces united French protests, but austerity remains untouched. When teachers, Gillets, Jones, and students all find common ground, it's a bad day for the powers that be and a great day for anyone selling tear gas. When a cardiologist starts mixing vaccines and royal scandals, it's like watching a reality show where the medical degree was just a prop. Nepal's government collapses, while India focuses on cricket diplomacy, with neighbors falling like dominoes. India seems to think a well-placed six over mid-wicket will solve geopolitical crises. Only 9% of free AI tools help, but the tech industry calls it a revolution. It's like handing out free umbrellas in a drought and calling yourself a rainmaker. All promise, no downpour. It's like saying the house isn't on fire while standing knee-deep in ash, all while holding a can of gasoline and a matchbook. IFA Berlin 2025 unveils gadgets galore, promising smarter lives, but your wallet's IQ will plummet faster than your phone's battery life. In the age of smart everything, we're left wondering if the only thing getting dumber is our ability to resist buying yet another Wi-Fi enabled toaster. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. Ireland threatens Eurovision exit over Israel, calling it unconscionable. Nothing says world peace like a song contest where diplomacy is as harmonious as a catfight in a karaoke bar, proving once again that music might unite, but politics holds the mic. RFK Jr. promotes Tylenol autism theory, then wonders why no one takes him serious. When your medical advice sounds like it was cooked up in a conspiracy cauldron, maybe it's time to stop taking career tips from YouTube comment sections. GitHub account compromised, triggers sales law drift breach, hits 22 companies and blames oops. When a single GitHub slip-up results in a corporate breach buffet, it's a reminder that even in 2025, some tech giants treat cybersecurity like an afterthought in a discount bin. Hassan Piker denies political ambitions, then streams to millions like a digital demagogue. While the man of many labels avoids the ballot box, his Twitch pulpit becomes the new soapbox, proving you don't need a podium to rile the masses. Prince Harry lays wreath for Queen Elizabeth, while royal drama gets a new season. As the UK tabloids sharpen their claws, it's clear that family feuds and ceremonial gestures now rival Downton Abbey for sheer theatrical spectacle. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. Sheriff confirms 3 injured in Colorado school shooting, while thoughts and prayers rain down like confetti. In a nation where school shootings are as common as pep rallies, the real tragedy is the deafening silence of meaningful change. New Mexico offers free childcare for all, but critics say it's just nap time for budgets. In a world where free usually comes with a catch, New Mexico might just be the unicorn, unless they plan to fund us with monopoly money and wishful thinking. Blaming Democrats for Epstein's ghost is like blaming the weatherman for anger. When you're neck deep in scandal, everything starts looking like a convenient conspiracy. When the green energy crowd starts waving oil flags, it's like the vegan chef recommending a steakhouse. It's not the dish, it's the dollar signs on the menu. Amazon delivery exposes sister's secret, reveals rent-free reality. When your spare bedroom becomes a rent-free love nest, and Amazon's the one to spill the beans, it's time to ask if you're running a hotel or a sitcom. When your defense strategy sounds like a conspiracy theory and the evidence looks like a bad episode of reality TV, it might be time to check if you're still on the air. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. While chaos reigns in the headlines, the real tragedy might be a nation that can't tell the difference between a tweet and a tragedy. CoreWeave stock surges 38% in 4 days, while AI's hype machine keeps printing confetti. Investors are riding the wave of artificial intelligence euphoria, but when the buzz fizzles, they might find themselves holding a hologram of hope instead of a golden ticket. As the charred remains of authority lie in heaps, the political game of musical chairs continues, with leaders swapping seats while the people dance on the ashes of broken promises, wondering if anyone up top will ever listen. When a tech giant behaves like it's chugged a gallon of energy drink, Wall Street analysts start looking like deer caught in lead-eat headlights, stunned, dazed, and unsure if this is a miracle or a mirage. Analyst downgrades Apple's stock to neutral, claims it's Nvidia's and Microsoft's world now, when the tech giant that brought us the iPhone becomes a mere tenant in the Silicon Valley of the shadow of Nvidia and Microsoft. You know the apple cart's got a wobbly wheel. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. Larry Ellison bypasses Elon Musk as world's richest man, showing that even in the billionaire Hunger Games, there can be only one. Precision like a blindfolded dart thrower, proving once again that evacuated is a flexible term when you control the narrative and the news cycle. Oracle predicts endless cloud growth. Broadcom stock soars on AI hype. When your stock market strategy hinges on Trump launches Chicago illegal immigration crackdown, and the Windy City braces for a political tornado. Supreme Court agrees to review Trump's tariffs, then checks if irony is a legal principle. When the highest court takes on tariffs on a president who treats trade wars like a game of Risk, it's not justice. It's a comedy of errors in judicial robes. Trump awards Charlie Kirk the Medal of Freedom and fires UK ambassador over Epstein links. It's like giving You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. Household's moment of silence for Charlie Kirk, but Trump tweets louder. In a world where thoughts and prayers are cheaper than security, even the most fervent political ally can't dodge the bullets of reality, leaving us with a moment of silence that's louder than any speech. Household's moment of silence for Charlie Kirk. Then Congress resumes shouting. It's ironic how silence is the loudest thing Congress can muster when a political commentator falls, while the rest of the time they drown out reason with their own echoing sound bites. My Chemical Romance tops emo playlists. Yet happiness remains elusive. When your favorite band's biggest hit is called Dead, it's no wonder your optimism is on life support. Who knew the soundtrack of teen angst would be the real-life funeral dirge? X, the platform, formerly known as Twitter, announces rebranding as the way of the exploding dickhead. promising less coherence than a noise rock anthem. When your hard rock bravado outpaces your ability to sell records, it's time to consider if your audience is more into air guitar than actual danger. You're listening to doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, where sanity melts like sugar. Proof nothing is true, reality is shattered desire. When your investment strategy mirrors a sinking ship, it's time to either bail water faster or admit that your financial lifeboat was made of paper. This has been doomscroll.fm, fading into irrelevance. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth. Fictional satire, resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, consider enrolling in a course on mythical creatures. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.